Okay.
Alrighty, I am here today with Amanda Abella of Make Money Your Honey. I'm really, really excited to speak with you today. She has a group coaching program called Persuade to Profit, and it's one that we actually worked on together during You've Got Clients. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me to talk about my amazing experience in You've Got Clients.
Yeah, so I'd love to just hear in your own words your experience, kind of where you started, why you chose to invest in You've Got Clients, and a little bit of the results that you've had as a result.
So in the beginning of 2017, I told myself I was going to focus on building systems and more scalability in my business. And because I was tired. I've been freelance writing for a long time, and it's great. I'll be a writer until the day I die, but I needed to find other ways to leverage my time and still make money. So I was like, okay, I gotta think of systems. So went to Puerto Rico for the Actionista retreat, where we worked on a webinar, and we kind of started putting things together here and there. And then I think a couple months after that was You've Got Clients, and I was like, okay, I gotta do this, because I've got this portion of it, but now I have to figure out what the actual offering is and what that looks like. And when I went into it, I wasn't sure I knew I was going to walk out making more money, but I wasn't sure what it looked like. And I think for me, that's always been the issue. I've always been very big picture, but when it comes down to putting the details and the logistics together, I get totally hung up.
I think that's so cool to hear you say you knew you were going to make money, but you just didn't know what that was going to look like. I'm a really big believer in kind of focusing on what it is that you want and not taking no for an answer when it comes to your goals. So that's really great for me to hear. I want to go back to what you had mentioned was, we kind of worked on a webinar before, and that was helping you book phone calls for one-on-one clients, but now you wanted to do a group coaching program. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I'd already gotten, I actually rebooked a private client and then put them on retainer, and that was thanks to the webinar. So then I was like, okay, well, now that's great, awesome, got this money coming in, but you gotta start finding ways to scale, girl. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in the same place again.
Right. And one of the big things for you, I know you had mentioned when you decided to invest, was that, like you said, you wanted that scalability, but you wanted to diversify your income as well. And you mentioned that you're writing, you'll do it till the day you die, but how does that feel now that you have that, diversification in your income?
Actually, I was just thinking about that earlier today, and I was like, can I take a step back from this and just go, focus on the coaching? Because it's really interesting. I've had a lot of people coming up to me with the same question of how do I move from done for you to teaching? And I had been kind of progressing toward that for a while, and now I see it really coming into fruition. So I'm like, do I have to even do done for you anymore? I was thinking about that this morning. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. So you're potentially thinking of firing your clients. Potentially.
The
done for you ones.
Not for sure. I don't know. I like having my money coming from different places. So I'm not totally sure yet, but I'm seeing the feedback coming in already. And also the fact that I found it, I was like, I didn't have to spin my wheels or work as hard or burn myself out. I did this literally while I was in the middle of moving.
Yeah.
And I was still able to, make a nice chunk of change and not lose my mind.
Yeah, so let's talk about that nice chunk of change. I know that one of the things that we had worked on was a little bit of the sales piece. You were great at sales, but there was one thing that you felt like you could improve on, and that's what kind of helped you with your launch. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think one of the main things I learned from you was that reaffirmation that I was good at sales, because one of the reasons I moved back from coaching and consulting, there were two reasons. The first was that I was going to ride that content marketing train until the wheels fell off, because I saw that's kind of what was happening, and I was like, I got to do this. So that was number one. And then number two, I was feeling really tired, because even though I've had sales training, I was getting a lot of the runarounds, or I remember one time I did 60 consults, and like none of them went through, even though I was good at sales, right? And I'm like, what is going on? So I was just getting really jaded and tired. And then when it started in Puerto Rico, but it got really reaffirmed in You've Got Clients, which was like, no, you're actually really good at sales. Like I needed to hear that again, because I was like, okay, because I hit some bumps in the road, and then I was like, oh, you're right, I am really good at sales. I could sell ice to an Eskimo if I needed to.
Yeah.
So then it was just a matter of like really tweaking and perfecting, because I had been originally taught through multiple sales trainings that I had done, was to give them, the prospect, more time to think about it. Being like, the way they phrased it was like, be respectful of like their financial decision and all that kind of stuff. And so I was kind of going into it with that mentality. And then what you taught me how to do was basically like, here's how you get that credit card information over the phone. Had 2 people do that up front and pay everything up front, like not even a payment plan, just like done, like in 30 minutes, like they were just ready to like slap it down. And then I think there were also, you've helped me find some really like sneaky ego stories that were getting in the way in terms of sales. Not like super common ones, like some that were just like hiding there that I did not know were there, and I was like, oh crap, right? And then once I was able to identify those, then I just went for it.
Yeah, because one of the things that a couple of things we work on in You've Got Clients is not only the mindset that goes along with sales, but we actually do a boot camp for sales calls, figuring out how to get that credit card over the phone, and working together, because everyone has different mindset blocks when it comes to sales. And you could be great at sales, but if there's that one little thing, like you said, it's just kind of figuring out those things. And it's a process.
And actually, another thing that really did help with the sales as well is you helped me identify what was my kind of like secret sauce, like what was my superpower. Being, I'm really good at influencing people. I'm really good at building a movement. I'm really good at building like a charismatic persona. I'm really good at knowing my audience. I know them better than they know themselves. Yeah. And I know how to put that into my marketing. And then when I realized, oh, that's your secret sauce, that's what you can really teach people how to do, that really helped as well.
Was that from week 1, or was that just the entire program? Like the first assignment? You remember the first assignment?
That's a really good question. I was moving at the same time, guys.
I tricked you. I tricked you. I knew that. Yeah, that first assignment really sets the pace for the whole thing. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining me. Did you want to talk about your launch numbers at all, or?
Oh yeah. So I was able to get $9,400 in sales.
Nice. Well, let's just round it up to 10,000.
Yeah, let's just round it up to. I mean, I'm like, right, exactly 9,400.
That's awesome.
In sales, which might as well be just 10,000. Yeah. But this is the first time I ever do this. Like, this is basically a beta group.
Nice.
And I was still able. So obviously, I'm going to be charging more money afterward, make even more.
Yeah. Definitely. That feels really good to hear. You were obviously a great client to work with, and I wish you nothing but success. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your next launches as you continue to open and continue to help your clients, helping them to persuade to profit. And I'm really excited about that title as well. I really like it. So
that is a really good one. I'm like trademarking it as soon as this is done. I'm like, yep, this already made me money. Time to go trademark.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And here's to your continued success.